And this problem is saying that I want to know which of these expressions down here is going to get me from there to there, but that equation isn't something that I can measure directly. So I've got two different ways that I can go. I'm going to see how these equations would go together for me to work things out nicely. Now, eventually I need to be able to cancel some of these things out, like the hydrochloric acids. I don't want those in my final answer, and frankly I don't want any of this in my final answer either. The way that I can cancel things out is if I have them on opposite sides of the reaction, which is why most of these have something with subtraction, so I can get rid of D right away. If I ended up adding them, I'd end up with a lot of the extra things that I don't want. And then the other thing that I would be looking at is the fact that I want to get rid of 2 HCl's and 2 HCl's, but if I was multiplying by either of those equations by 2, I'd actually have 4 HCl's and 4 HCl's on the other one, depending on which way I was going. So we should be able to cross both of those out right away. But let's take a look at this. So what is this saying? It's saying that this first reaction, this first delta H value, is from the calcium carbonate reacting with 2 moles of HCl to form calcium chloride plus water and CO2. The other direction is saying that I'm supposed to be going from CaO, so calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide, to forming these things, but by doing a negative, that means I'm flipping around my equation, and so I'm flipping my delta H value. So really what I would have is CaCl2 plus H2O, reversing the sign here, plus CO2 forming CaO plus CO2. I can look at what cancels out. So on this side I have a CaCl2, on the opposite, the product side, I've got a CaCl2, so those would cancel out. Same thing with my water, same thing with my CO2, and same thing, oops, I forgot my plus 2 HCl here. Didn't want to forget that. So those 2 HCl's would cancel out, and I'd be left with the things that I was looking for originally, CaCO3, CaO, and CO2. So A was the correct answer after all.